It's time for the good news
with Lunchbox.
Tell me something good.
Demetrius was in high school in Billings, Montana, and he had some interactions with some special needs kids. He's like, man, these kids are amazing. And he saw the resources they have available to him, and he said, man, these stink. There's got to be better ways. So he started a charity to raise money for him. And he's like, I'll raise $20,000. He raised $45,000.
He's just a kid, a young
awesome.
adult.
He's in high school.
And so he just spent some time with them, probably randomly through some program, and then decided to do all that.
Yeah, and he started this thing called Limitless Kids, and it's bringing better opportunities to special needs students in Yellowstone County where they live. And so now he raised $45,000, and they're going to be able to renovate a room and give them all sorts of new resources.
I see a lot of people on TikTok who go, hey, I would like to do this. Here's my Venmo, or here's my, and they do it. Like, that is a really cool platform to just get on and hope it catches the algorithm. And I don't know that he did that on TikTok, but he just did it probably Facebook or Twitter or whatever. But a lot of people on TikTok will just get on and go, hey, here's my idea. This is what I want to do. This is how you can also track to make sure I'm not stealing the money.
Yeah, they follow through.
Yeah, and then people...
That's cool.
Yeah,
like, what kind of thing?
Really cool when it works. I don't know. They're all over the place. Sometimes people will just say, hey, I got so much medical debt. And they'll show their bills.
Now, that's cool.
And then people will just pay. They'll just send them money. I think a lot of people want to know how to help. We all have different levels of what we can help, especially different seasons of our life. But I think a lot of people would love to help $3, $7, $10 at a time. It's not always these stories where somebody gives $1 million. And TikTok is kind of given that platform and then feeds it to other people who like to do the same thing. That's a good story. That kid just decided he wanted to change. He did. That's what it's all about.
That was Tell Me Something Good.
The Bobby Bone Show.
Here's a voicemail from last night.
I just wanted to let you know, Lunchbox, that I hit a jackpot on 60 cents for $20,220.32. They wanted to give me all cash, and I told them absolutely not. I wanted the money in a check. So I had to wait for an extra 30 minutes to get my money. And yes, I did have them take the taxes out so that I didn't have to pay it at the end of the year. The same year, I hit 9 more jackpots in the range of $1,800 all the way up to $4,900.
That's wild. And the craziest part of that is she spent 60 cents to win $20,000.
Yeah, how do you do that?
You just get lucky. It's probably a progressive.
Man, I need to play those penny slots.
But the thing is, usually you don't win that much if you win playing a penny slot, a progressive.
Yeah, I know.
That's wild. Most money you've ever wanted anything.
Oh, I won like $1,500 on the Buffalo machine at the casino in North Dakota.
Oh, so you've won at slots more than lottery, and you've played lottery 5,000% more.
Yeah. Four Bears Casino, I hit. I was there to do a little like appearance, and they were like, "Oh, play the slot machine, like, you know, let's get you a little." Then I took their money.
That's okay.
It was awesome. It was crazy, dude. It just kept going, Buffalo, and it just kept ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing, and I was like, ah!
Did you lose it back?
No.
Good. Walked away.
No. I mean, I played a little bit more, but I didn't lose it all back. No.
Did you lose most of it back?
No.
Okay. Walked away.
Walked away. It was it was so fun.
I've never hit on a slot machine. I don't play slots a whole lot, but I've never hit big on a slot machine.
And I've won $1,000 on Wheel of Fortune in Vegas.
Walk away?
Yeah.
Not so much.
No.
All right, let's go to Amy in the morning, Corny.
The Morning Corny.
Why did the water polo team get kicked out of the pool?
Why is that?
Too much horseplay.
Water polo.
That was the Morning Corny.
I get it now. It took me a minute. So polo is with horses.
Right.
Water polo is when you're swimming in the pool, but she's making it that horses were in the water, which they shouldn't be, and that's the joke.
Still trying to
we got it.
Get that Olympics theme.
We feel you. Took us a second, but we got there.
You send an email and we read it on the air. It's something we call Bobby's mailbag. Yeah.
Hello, Bobby. Last night, I went out with a guy. We matched on a dating app. We went to a nice restaurant, but I was not feeling it. After the date, I thanked him, told him I did not want to have another date, and wished him luck.
Wow.
Dang, who would say that?
It's right
I
out of the
respect
gate.
it. Okay. A few minutes later, he messaged me asking me to send him $125 for my half of the dinner. Honestly, if he would have told me from the beginning that we'd be splitting the meal, I would not have had a problem with that, but I didn't choose the restaurant, look at the bill, or even discuss splitting the tab with him. Should I send him the money or just ignore him and move on? Signed, forced to foot the bill. This is what I would say, first of all. You shouldn't have told him you didn't want another date right then.
Yeah.
Like,
let's work on that.
All that is why all this other stuff happened. I do respect it. I would never do it. I never have the courage to be like, my thought is now I never want to see you again. Not to hurt your feelings, but I couldn't do that. I would just ghost. But that being said, he's only asking for that half the money because his feelings are hurt.
Yeah, he's responding emotionally.
Yeah, I would not pay the $125. I would actually, if he sends a Venmo request, send him $1 back and be like, hey, saw your request. You picked the place and asked me on the date. I just assumed that you'd be paying for it. Thank you for the date. Block.
Yeah.
I don't think you owe him the money because it wasn't said ahead of time. He didn't ask if you were going to split it at the meal. He just got his feelings hurt. Now, why did he get his feelings hurt? Because you did something crazy. I respect it. I would never do it. That's crazy. Can you imagine if I was on a date and I haven't dated in years, been married. If you're new to the show, been married 3 years, been with my wife for 4 or so. Let's say 5 years ago. At the end of a date, some girl goes to me, yeah, hey, that was fun. I don't ever want to go out with you again. I don't think I would date ever again. I would just quit. I'd retire. I'd take off my shoes, leave them in the restaurant like those wrestlers do when they retire and just walk out. Mm-hmm. So I kind of put this on. What we're going to learn from this is you shouldn't tell guys you don't want to date them again until the next day. Just
or
not
they
in
ask
person.
you out again.
Yes.
Or whatever.
I don't think you owe them any money, though.
No, you don't.
I think that's a pretty easy one, except for the part that you went straight. I mean, you went hardcore on them. You went full hardcore Holly. I respect it. Could never do it. That's it.
We got your email and we read it on the air. Now it's time to close Bobby's mailbag. Yeah.
This guy lost a lot of weight and he's like, wow. And then they looked at his body and what they found in his body was not wow worthy. Well, maybe wow worthy of like, holy crap, wow, but not like, wow. So we'll talk about that. And then an interesting fella Amy met. We have a few things to say about that. All coming up next.
Bobby Bones, the Bobby Bones Show.
Thanks for kicking off your day with the Bobby Bones Show. Case 100.7.
Bobby Bones, come on.
This guy who lives in Florida lost 50 pounds. He was not trying to lose weight. And then all of a sudden he went to the doctor. He's like, I don't know what's up. I keep losing weight. And they said, well, let's do a little thing. Put the old scanner on him. Found a deadly fungus inside of an organism, just chilling.
Oh, he's dying?
Eating everything. It's something normally found in bat feces.
Oh.
So he was losing weight, and then he was getting night sweats and fatigue. He got an occasional fever. Tests showed his fungus levels were 25 times the detectable limit. It was affecting everything. And if they didn't treat it, it was going to be fatal. So he had been a building supervisor with a farm. He hadn't been, as far as he knows, in contact with bats or birds, but he could have actually, like the soil, right? There's a lot of things that you don't have to touch that they touch. A lot of what they touch can move on.
Yeah.
So he had surgeries, antifungal treatment. His symptoms are improving. The Department of Health is testing the farm's soil to confirm that that was the source of the fungus. That's from the Daily Mail. He dropped 50 pounds like that.
That's crazy.
Probably thought he was like working a little more with his hands, burning a few more calories, didn't mind the weight loss a little bit. Then all of a sudden,
Until he did.
Like, what the? Yeah. My irrational fear, and we can talk about this later, is that I have some sort of fungus or like that living, like organism living inside of me all the time. Like I think about it all the time. I'll get to that because we're going to do irrational fears later. But I will tell you this, something I'm kind of proud of myself for. I've mentioned it. Indulge me for 15 seconds. Like 8 months ago, my doctor was like, hey, you should get on this OCD medication because I was hyper OCD and some stuff. Couldn't get my mind off certain things. I take it. I put on 22 pounds like that. Boom. Didn't realize it. I'm like, I told my wife, like, I'm eating like I always eat. I'm working out like I always work out. I live a healthy lifestyle. Not unhealthy at all. And it's not one of those phases where I'm weighing myself every day because I have a TV project coming up. Just living it. Gained 20 pounds. And she's like, I think it's the medicine. So I look it up, Google it. First time I Googled it, I'm an idiot. It says, yeah, you'll gain 2 to 3 pounds a month. And I'm like, who knew medicine made you gain weight?
Some do.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people know that. I didn't know that. But I've dropped like 14 pounds extremely in a healthy way. I don't really eat less, eat a lot of protein, just change up what I'm eating. And I'm playing a bunch of pickleball though too.
How's your OCD?
It doesn't matter.
Don't worry about that, Amy. It's about the weight.
All I know, it's not even about the weight. I just felt so gross. I didn't feel good about myself. And so, yeah, I have like 6 to 8 more pounds to go back to normal. I never put on that much weight. I was walking around here like fat nastard.
Yeah.
That was the name.
Oh,
of it.
yeah,
I
you
didn't
can't
say
say
the
the other
real
word.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I get it.
But who knew medicine made you gain weight like that without even knowing?
Well, yeah, some cause gain, some cause loss.
Then I would go, oh yeah, what are those?
Oh.
Well, there's a lot of...
Because I've been working my
Everybody's-
face off to lose
but
this
see,
weight. And when you
everybody's
get older,
bodies-
it doesn't fall off like it used to.
Everybody's bodies respond differently. That's why when you look up side effects, there could be 50 different ones.
Well, I've been playing
Doesn't mean you're going to have them all.
a lot of pickleball. I think that's helping a little bit too. Lunchbox, you should play pickleball. You'd love it. And you'd be good at it.
I know. I haven't got into it. It's hard.
You know how you get into it?
Play
Go to
it.
the court and play.
You
Yeah.
just play.
Yeah, maybe I'll try that today.
You just with who?
I don't know.
You can always come play with us,
Yeah.
but you'd be bad for a while and you'd
that's-
lose to like some of the idiots, and I don't think you'd like that.
I wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
I went and played with my friend. She's married, so it was her and her husband and then just me. And then we got lucky because the court next to us, like this guy was a pickleball instructor. And then he came over and was like, hey, I've got some time to kill. Like, I can play. So then he played on my team and I got free instruction.
Did he like put his hands
All
on
the
your
time.
hips and
No,
stuff?
I was
No.
going to say.
He's like,
No.
hey,
Hold on,
turn
Amy.
like this.
No.
Yeah, hey, we know what's up.
No, he didn't
Yeah,
at
we'll
all.
do
It
Did he get your number?
He gave you a
No.
little instruction.
No, but I got
not
to. My partner was this pickleball pro guy, and then I got help and we won.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
I think he came over there for more than
Pickleball pro,
pickleball.
come on.
He
Well,
was interested.
instructor,
Pickleball
whatever. What do you call? I mean,
instructor.
you call tennis pros.
He's like,
Amy, did you
he's
find
like,
him attractive?
Let me put my hand on the inside of your thigh and I can
No,
show
he didn't
you
touch
which way
me
to-
one bit.
Oh.
He
That's probably
stayed on
lesson. That's probably lesson 2.
his side. I stayed on mine. He would just tell me like, "Oh, hey,
So
stand
you
here,
bend
do
over
this."
more.
No, he didn't know.
All right.
Guys,
Thanks for kicking off your day with the Bobby Bone Show. Case 100.7.
Get your bones on, get your Bobby bones on. Bobby bones,
Texas authorities, first they showed up, arrested a guy at gunpoint because they were like, murder. You murdered. Boom. Cuff him. Gunpoint. Out of there. They've now released the guy previously accused of murder following the discovery of new evidence that proves he could not have committed the crime. His name is Mark Anthony Crooms. So he was facing charges in the death of his friend. Turns out there was some surveillance footage of him walking out, taking out the trash. Like 17 miles away from where the crime was. And luckily the surveillance, I mean, it's like a cam, just a cam that's like security. New evidence shows he was not at the scene of the crime because he was taking out the trash, his mom's.
wow, that's wild.
How about that? Somebody busts in with a gun and says, we're arresting you for murder. And you know you did not do it. You know you did not do it. Yet here they are holding a gun to your head and they're cuffing you and they're taking you in.
Yeah, I would think surely it's going to sort itself out. But then also, I feel like from different things that we watch, it's like when they get fixated on someone they can pin it on, they just do whatever they can to make that happen. And then you're like screwed.
Exactly, because they want to find someone.
So they quickly.
That they can say, this is solved. So if they're a sheriff, an attorney working, that politically they can move
And
on.
by different things I've seen, I'm talking about fiction TV shows.
That's correct.
So I know that there are
you're
people out
right.
there that are about
Yes.
justice and figuring it out. But.
So it wasn't until Monday, days later, after police reviewed the video evidence, he was released and charges were dropped against him.
Wow, thank goodness.
It's like I was taking out the trash. I wasn't there. That's a fear. It's a bit of a fear that we would be accused of something we didn't do and then go to jail.
Yes, and I mean, he has to sit there just going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh
It's
my,
like, I didn't do it. And everybody's like, yeah, everybody says that.
Right, and he's just sitting there going, how am I going to get out of this?
What is your irrational fear? Because mine, and we talked about it a bit earlier, mine is that I have some sort of like large hairball inside of me that has like some little organism in it that's just like eating me from the inside, that I can't see it. But it's in there just like chilling.
Yeah, see, I have
killing
that,
me.
but I don't feel like it's irrational because I feel like it's a parasite and it's definitely in there and it's happening and it's not irrational. It's fact.
Well, that's what I feel like. There's something in there. It's got a little mansion in the hills. Probably got lake lakefront view, living his own little life. And for some reason, it's affecting me. Like, that is number one. And number two is that people watch me on my phone when I poop.
That is irrational.
Who's watching you?
Who knows? But I'm on my phone all the time, so I feel like they're watching. Somebody's watching me. And there's
So when you go to the bathroom, they get an alert?
Maybe. And they built a whole database of me just doing number two, and they'll release it sometime when I run for office.
So why do you just maybe not take your phone with you?
Nah, who does that?
Amy, that's irrational.
Why would you? Yeah, that's the irrational thing. Good point. Who goes to the bathroom without their phone? No chance. Those are my two I'm terrified of.
Yeah. Lately, I've been terrified that all of my hair is just going to fall out.
Do you have a reason to think that?
I mean, I lose a lot of hair, but then you read that it's normal to lose a lot of hair. And then, I don't know. I just have been thinking a lot lately, like it's going to be like a week or a month is going to go by and it's all going to be gone.
Yeah, that's pretty rapid.
It's rapid. It's not going to happen at my pace. I have no reason to think that other than when I'm washing my hair and the chunks come out, I get this feeling come over me like I'm going to wake up and I'm not going to have any hair.
That don't sound good.
And then
chunks are coming out.
But then I try
not to play into it, but that could be trouble.
Yeah, it's not good.
Chunks. Like
Yeah,
I get
chunks.
some on the ground.
No, like I could. It's a lot. Like I could start saving it and show y'all.
It don't sound so irrational.
We don't need to see it.
I'll show you what comes out.
I'm good.
Okay.
We believe you.
We take your word.
Lunchbox.
Irrational fear. A few times I've seen snakes on the road, and I'm scared to drive over them with my car because I'm scared they're going to go up through the engine and get me.
Will you dodge a snake on the road?
Absolutely. Even though I hate them, I'd rather them be splat.
Not to jump straight up through an engine, go all the way through the hole perfectly, and get up into the car.
Yes.
That's why it's irrational.
And it's irrational that I slow, like before I sit down, I look in the toilet because you hear stories about snakes coming up the pipes. And that is, everywhere I go, I look in the toilet and I'm like, all right.
A lot of snake fears.
Ah!
Morgan, irrational fear?
Yeah, so I have like a neck fear. So I think anytime anybody gets close to my neck, they're going to slash me or choke me.
That's funny.
Really?
Yeah, like if you
Where
get
does
if
that
your
come
hair,
from?
I don't know.
Like, what's that trauma that...
There is literally no trauma to my neck, but for whatever reason, if somebody gets close, I'm like, don't touch me. I like immediate panic.
So question, I mean, this is going to be maybe awkward, but maybe not. So you don't let your dude give you a hickey on the neck?
Why does it have
Well,
to be
nobody
a hickey?
wants a hickey.
Why can you
Why
say,
can't you say, like,
he
kiss
can't
on her neck?
cuddle up next to your neck?
Do you worry he's going to slash your throat?
No, but at the beginning I was like, he'd come and he'd give me a hug or he'd like touch me. I'm like, don't do that. And there is still moments where like if he gets me and I'm like not prepared for it, I will freak out.
Like if he does that prank where he takes a butter knife, puts it up to your neck from behind, you don't like that?
Oh yeah, please
That's a
don't
tough
do that.
prank. Yeah, that's a
Please
tough
don't do
prank.
that. But like if a nurse comes with me with a needle, I think she's gonna come for my neck, and I immediately go like this. I don't know why.
That's funny. Raymundo, you have an irrational fear?
Yeah, mine has to do with work. I always tell my wife, I'm like, you realize if people stop listening to the show, we lose our jobs tomorrow, right?
Hey, that ain't that irrational, buddy.
Well,
I
I
don't know
get
if it's
her-
happening tomorrow, but yeah.
Well, I get in her car and it's on a different station. I say, hey, I'm dead serious. You keep it on our station.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. It's weird, yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit irrational to do it like that.
It matters, though. It's
You don't-
ratings.
You don't even let her listen to anything else.
I don't care if they have old country. We have new country, and it's good. Listen to it.
That's funny.
It's time for the good news.
With Bobby.
An engineer and the crew near Boston, there's a commuter train, and they're driving, and all of a sudden they see a dog stuck on the opposite tracks. So it's not like the old movies where someone's tied on the railroad tracks in front of the train. They're like, oh, God. Train tracks going both ways. And so they see a dog stuck on the opposite track as they go by. The dog could not free itself, and so it takes a while to stop a train. You can't just boop. No anti-lock brakes on the old trainer there. So they do pull down and slow. It takes a while to slow it down. And they stop the train. And they jump off the train and run and run all the way back around. And once the coast was clear, they made sure of it. They hopped off and freed the dog because it was stuck in the tracks, like his foot
That's awesome.
was stuck in the track. The conductor and the assistant conductor brought the dog on board. Then they started the train back. Animal control met the crew at the next train station. They took custody of the dog. And I mean, that's awesome. They stopped the
pretty
whole train to save a dog. And then they brought the dog on the train. They didn't just go like, run back into the woods, Sparky.
So what they name the dog, you think?
I don't know.
Caboose?
Track.
Conductor?
Conductor. Nah, too many syllables. Oducty.
Rail? Road?
Okay, now we're just
Crossing.
we're just
What's it called? What's it called? What's it called? There's something that would be perfect.
Caboose.
No, I said that one. What would it? Oh God, the perfect
I
name.
don't know what you're saying.
The perfect name is. That's what it's all about. Thank you.
That was Tell Me Something Good.